I guess we're good afternoon now. We want to welcome the St. Bridget Student Council to their fourth. And here at the invitation of Legislator Schaefer and Bynum, and that's their alma mater, so that's a great thing. We're happy that you're here. And I am joined here today by my colleagues in government, the Nassau County Legislature. We have, and I'm going to miss people, but Presiding Officer Norma Gonzalez, Minority Leader Kavan Abrams, Legislators Celia Bynum, Laura Curran, Helen Birnbaum, Judy Jacobs, Delia DeRicci Witten, Howard Grappel, James Kennedy, Dennis Dunn, Rose Walker, Steve Rhodes, Denise Ford, Deputy Presiding Officer Rich Nicolello, and Legislator Gaylor, which you'll hear from after, and Legislator Carrie Salage. Did I miss anything? I think we have them all. But we're all here together because we are united in purpose, and we're here to do more for our veterans. As you know, but for the service and sacrifice of our veterans, we would not enjoy the freedoms that we enjoy here in the United States of America. And this body has worked hard to increase those benefits, from increasing housing opportunities, from increasing access to health care, from transportation issues, from enhancing our monuments and honoring our veterans. We've made significant progress together in a very nonpartisan way to honor all of our veterans. And we're here today to announce another initiative that will help our service-disabled, veteran-owned businesses basically get more work. That is our goal. So these service-disabled, veteran-owned businesses are aware of all the opportunities that are here in our county. The goal is 6%. That's the goal set forth. And again, New York State is doing the same thing. They're encouraging participation of, again, service-disabled, veteran-owned businesses. And here in the county, we're taking that initiative through our Office of Minority Affairs and our Office of Veteran Services to reach out to these companies so they're aware of the opportunities that they have right here in our county. There's a New York State registration process as well as a county registration process, as well as there will be an email outreach campaign through our Office of Minority Affairs. Why the Office of Minority Affairs? Because they perform this function with respect to minority-owned and women-owned businesses, and now will be extended to service-disabled, veteran-owned businesses as well. So that's really what we're doing here today, making that announcement. The press can help us with awareness. Get to our website. It has the information that will allow them to register if they've not registered so far. And we're going to obviously have that registration drive again through our Office of Veteran Services as well as our Office of Minority Affairs. And that's our collective goal, to honor our veterans by making certain they have the opportunity to understand the opportunities that we have here in terms of contracting, and we hope to see a greater participation. As you know, in the past, this wasn't really tracked. Now we'll be able to track it and see who is participating, what's the field of participation, and in fact, who achieves a good result and is awarded the contract to work on the many projects that we have here in our great county. So with that, really again, I want to stress the entire legislature here was involved in this initiative, and two legislators in particular were leading the charge, if you will, and we will first hear from a veteran, Legislator Bill Gaylor. Bill?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the administration and my fellow colleagues for passing this monumental legislation. It's just a small piece that we can do to give back to our veterans. Our veterans make this all possible. They've gone places on our behalf to answer the call of duty, to defend the rights and ways that we live by in our democracy, and they return home. In this instance, the service-disabled return home, and this bill will provide them with an opportunity to gain access to government contracts. So it's a small piece of legislation, a small token that we can do to say thank you to our veterans for all that they've done on our behalf. So just wanted to say that and say God bless you all for being out here today. Thank you very much.
Legislator Lord Carter.
Thank you very much. So veterans all too often come back from serving our country only to struggle with unemployment, inadequate housing, and mental health issues. So here at the county, we have found a way that we can help by empowering veteran-owned businesses. This initiative is key in our overall mission to create jobs, boost the economy, and stabilize the middle class. And what better way to do this than to give veteran businesses a leg up? Veterans, you may know, are natural entrepreneurs. They are trained to think on their feet. I'm sure Bill could tell us this, and Dennis Dunn as well. To quickly adapt to unforeseen conditions and to work in results-oriented teams. And an added benefit is that veterans who own businesses tend to hire other veterans. And that's welcome news for veterans who are coming back from serving. And just, there's always a story behind how a bill gets onto the floor. This is truly a team effort. I proposed a version of this bill a couple of years ago, and it didn't go too far, and so I looked across the field, and to use a sporting analogy, I threw the ball over to Bill, he caught it, and he ran with it. So we're all here today, and as he said, it's a win for veterans, it's a touchdown for veterans, and it's a first step in a lot of more work that we need to do. So thank you very much.
Just procedurally, we enacted it by executive order, and then at the next legislative session, it will be law through legislation. And we also have with us another veteran that served on a legislature. As a matter of fact, one of the original legislators, and that is Dennis Dunn.
Thank you, Eddie. The men and women that serve this country, when they're 17, 18, 19 years old, they raise their right hand and they say, I am, with me, was a United States Marine Corps recruit. I serve in the forces which guard our country and its way of life. I am prepared to give my life in its defense, so help me God. Now, Bill did that with the Army, Navy does it with their grant, but I did it with the Marine Corps. And so everybody that served our country, men and women, were ready to take that extra step. Now they come out, and they don't ask for anything. And that's what county's giving them something. And I really thank you, Eddie, and I thank you, Laura, and Bill, for forwarding this to our disabled veterans. Men and women that got hurt at war, men and women that got hurt, for every one person in the field, there's 10 people in the rear, supplying them, helping them, feeding them, getting them ready to take on the horrors of war. And even if we're not at war because of the strength of our military. So giving a disabled veteran the same as you would give to a minority or a woman that owns business is not asking a hell of a lot, and we're finally doing it, we're catching up. And I want to thank you for developing this law, and thank you, Liddy, for providing it. Thank you, God bless.
Dennis Dunn. And we really want to acknowledge Dennis Dunn for his leadership on veteran issues since long before 1996 when he became a legislator. He served as director of Veteran Service Agency. You did a great job throughout your tenure there, and you carried that on to the legislature. And having served on the legislature, not a meeting would pass where Dennis didn't remind us we have to do more or all that we can for our veterans. So it's great that that spirit and patriotism was on in our legislature here today. Any questions? Yes.
We'll do them sequentially. First one, do we happen to know what percentage of contracts the county currently provides to service disabled veteran-owned companies?
We do not, because it wasn't a statistic that had been tracked prior to this executive order and legislation that will be passed.
Okay. The federal goal for the federal government is 3% for service disabled veteran-owned companies. As someone who covered this topic, they typically hit about 1.5 to 2% on a federal level, and largely the problem has been that there's not enough service disabled veteran-owned companies in existence to meet the 3% goal. Why do you think you can hit a 6% goal?
Well, that was the state goal as well, and we adopted that same goal. And again, you correctly point out, until we establish the field of participants and then monitor the success rate, I can say that this legislation creates an effort to increase that participation, both track it and increase that participation. So,
since it's a goal, is there any?
It's a goal. It's the same way the minority-owned and women-owned business statistics are really goals. They're goals to try to achieve, and in many cases, we achieve them. So, for instance, in minority-owned and women-owned businesses, there used to be 800 registered, right, Steve? And now we have 8,000. Okay, so with this type of outreach, we were able to increase it 100 times here. Went from 800 in the last 5 years to 8,000 registered minority-owned and women-owned businesses increasing the field. So again, this is a start. It's good news, and it's certainly going to provide those businesses that do qualify that information at a very early stage.
So which begs the question, how many service-disabled veteran-owned businesses right now are registered?
Well, I believe that there was 200 in the state only identified, so we believe that there are more businesses. So now this is the outreach, we can answer.
So we don't know how many there are operating in the county?
It will increase.
There's
no reason for them to register.
Eight. So there's only 8 that we know of, and we believe that, you know, there are more that can participate, and that's part of this program. Yeah. So Legislator Laura Carnes, we have reached out to VFWs and other areas. It's really, you know, part 1 is an awareness campaign, an outreach campaign, a registration drive, and that would be step 1. That again, our Office of Minority Affairs and our Veteran Service Agency, along with the legislators, will be reaching out, and I'm assuming everybody will be talking about this as they're out there in their districts, meeting with veteran organizations. This would be a topical subject to alert them. Maybe it'll encourage the creation of more businesses that qualify as well, which would be a great thing. Okay, great.